on CTV News at 11:30. 2 people are dead following 2 separate shootings in Timmins. Police are still searching for a suspect. Plus, neighbors to the rescue.
We can't just leave it, you know what I mean? So we jumped in the kayaks and we just went over there. Everyone grabbed buckets.
How one family helped put out a fire on Manitoulin Island. And a performance that was anything but par for the course.
It's kind of still sitting in the back of my head, like, how did that even happen?
How one northern golfer landed a back-to-back stroke of luck.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off tonight. We begin in Timmins, where 2 shootings over the weekend have police looking for a suspect in one of the incidents.
On July 31st, shortly after 1 a.m., officers responded to reports of gunshots in the area of Balsam Street North near 5th Avenue. One male victim was transported to the hospital and was pronounced deceased. The ensuing investigation determined that a person had been shot by another individual known to him. Officers secured the area and processed 2 residences and the outside areas for evidence and released to the homicide as related to the homicide investigation.
31-year-old Jason Bartley from the Toronto area was identified police as the victim. A gun was found at the scene. Police say there is no threat to the public and they are encouraging the suspect to turn themselves in. The second shooting happened August 1st around midnight in the Reyes Street South and Wilson Avenue area. 1 person was killed and 2 others wounded. 2 suspects were arrested in that shooting. Police say the incidents are not connected. Both were targeted and connected to the drug trade. A family who owns a camp in Wikwemkong on Manitoulin Island is being called brave for their quick actions. CTV's Madison Marier explains.
Nicole Jacko and her family were enjoying themselves at their camp on the island over the long weekend when they saw heavy smoke coming from across the bay.
Well, we're all just looking at each other like, well, we can't just leave it, you know what I mean? So we jumped in the kayaks and we just went over there. Everyone grabbed buckets.
Jacko and 2 of her cousins braved the smoke and heat for over 2 hours as they formed a chain to pour buckets of water on the burning tree.
It was a long time, but we didn't stop. Like, we were like desperate, you know, and we're yelling across the bay at my family to like keep calling fire because we were kind of worried that we wouldn't be able to get it out. The tree was so hot. We were burning ourselves trying to put water in it. Like, it was crazy.
The MNR confirmed the 0.1 hectare fire on August 2nd, and they responded after the family's efforts, which were applauded online, with many community members calling Jacko and her family brave for their actions.
Our motivation was save the island, essentially, because like it's such a small community of where it was close to, which is my reserve, Wikwemkong. So, and with all the wildfires happening, we couldn't let this get out of control if there was something we could do before fire came.
Jacko says she and her family appreciate the support online as it was a tiresome undertaking, but says it has to be done.
Honestly, it was like really validating, I found, like, because we worked so hard.
Jacko says they found a tackle box, fishing rod, and small grills next to the smoldering tree. Fire officials have not confirmed how the fire started. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Kapuskasing OPP are investigating the death of 2 campers over the weekend. Police were notified Saturday 2 campers had not returned home from their campsite near Gannett Lake. The area was searched and officers located the 2 individuals dead on Sunday. This is believed to be an isolated incident, but investigators are asking anyone who may have noticed something suspicious between Thursday, July 30th and Sunday, August 2nd to contact James Bay OPP. A fatal careless driving case from this past May in Sudbury was before a judge today. Sudbury police say a 6-year-old was killed May 19th when she was struck by a vehicle in the parking lot at Palace Place Co-op on 2nd Avenue in Minnow Lake. 58-year-old Diane Leeson is charged with careless driving causing death and driving a vehicle while having cannabis readily available. She did not appear in court today, but her defense lawyer asked for 6 weeks for disclosure. The case is scheduled to be back before the judge September 15th. The child has been identified as Haven Winter K. The cleanup continues in the St. Catharines area after flooding caused by back-to-back rainstorms in the past few days. Today, residents are not only dealing with the mess, but bracing for more rain ahead. CTV's Mike Walker has more.
This was all under 18 inches yesterday. You can see the water line here.
With the water now receded, the extent of the damage is clear.
Everything 4 feet down, well, to here. Everything's going to be cut.
Neighborhoods in St. Catharines lined with dumpsters in the driveway and large piles of debris on front lawns, including appliances, furniture, and flooring, as residents clear out their basements after back-to-back floods in a matter of a week.
Sewer back up, everything's destroyed. It's really sad. It's pretty hard to deal with.
A state of emergency in effect in St. Catharines and the town of Lincoln after 3 torrential rainstorms since July 21st.
And we got a little over 3 feet.
Tiffany Mayer among many residents now dealing with their insurance companies and restoration crews for the second time in days.
My daughter's father, who had passed away last year after 6 years with ALS, we had memories of him tucked down there, and I tried my best to save what I could, but everything was lost.
St. Catharines mayor says the storms dropped a hurricane's worth of rain that overwhelmed the city's infrastructure, impacting 2/3 of the city.
The intensity and the volume of the rainfall overwhelmed the natural drainage and the municipal infrastructure across the community.
Contractors now working around the clock. The calls haven't stopped.
The more you get into the houses, the more you see that it's actually more catastrophic than people even imagine.
The road to recovery will be long and expensive, prompting the mayor to make another appeal to the provincial and federal governments.
We need that help from upper levels of government to be able to achieve those goals of making this community's infrastructure as resilient, as strong as possible.
Premier Doug Ford has vowed support, including Ontario Corps, a volunteer program that provides assistance in emergencies. But the local NDP MPP is demanding the province provide funding through its Disaster Recovery Assistance Program to help with costs not covered by insurance.
We don't need promises, we need relief. We need recovery funds for these residents.
A spokesperson for the Minister of Emergency Preparedness and Response says the government is currently assessing the situation for eligibility for disaster recovery funding and determining what other additional resources may be needed. The mayor says city crews are working around the clock, responding to urgent service requests, assessing the damage, and preparing for even more rain later this week. Mike Walker, CTV News, St. Catharines.
A business giant from our area, a philanthropist and Order of Canada recipient, has passed away. The founder of Manitoulin Transport, Doug Smith, has passed away at the age of 93. Smith, who called Gore Bay home, began a company that flourished under his watch, becoming a nationwide name. His family donated $1 million to the Manitoulin Health Centre. The Gore Bay mayor has issued a statement. In it, he writes, "I shall never forget him and the contribution he made to the town of Gore Bay and beyond. We will all miss him very much." Some sad news from our CTV family tonight. Legendary chief news anchor Lloyd Robertson has died. Lloyd sat at the helm of CTV National News for 35 years, covering some of the biggest stories in history. His more than 6-decade career began at a local radio station in his hometown of Stratford, carrying him to become the longest-serving news anchor in North America. Diagnosed with cancer in 2024, Lloyd died earlier this evening at the age of 92. Our thoughts are with his family as we remember a truly remarkable legacy. It's time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Tony will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions around the region. So we've got some cloudy skies out there, cloudy skies in Chapleau, clear skies in Elliott Lake in North Bay. Pretty comfortable out there. 21 degrees in Temiskaming Shores. That appears to be the warm spot. 14 in Wawa. Your full forecast is coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. Now your main weather. We will start with our forecast radar. Well, pockets of activity overnight, so clouds, showers. It's going to be intense at times. Watch this diagonal line here, especially in through Sault Ste. Marie. Kapuskasing shores in through Wednesday morning, along with south of Timmins. Rain's going to be heavy at times, then it'll die down. And then we start to get some clearing, which is rather nice. In through Thursday, temperatures also going to spike. Roller coaster temperatures, if you will. Now here's your 7-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury-Nickel tomorrow. Well, it's going to be a wet one. 60% chance of showers, 25 degrees. Much the same on Thursday, maybe a little less rain. Friday, beautiful sunshine. Then Saturday, Sunday, we start to see increasing cloud cover. Back to the rain. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 26 degrees. So pretty nice there. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma tomorrow, sun, cloud, and a chance of some showers. Temperature slightly, well, spot on actually. And then it starts to tick up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, back to the rain briefly, then overcast conditions. Next week looks pretty nice. Monday and Tuesday, you'll see your share of sunshine. For Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing tomorrow, well, a little bit of everything. 25 degrees, 1 degree above normal. Then the temperature spikes Thursday into Friday, Saturday. Again, back to the rain. Cools off a little bit Sunday, Monday even cooler, and then Tuesday 23 when it should be 24. So pretty nice forecast. Let's head on over now to Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake. A wet next couple of days. 29 though on Friday. Temperature ticks up. Then the temp drops. Back to the clouds, the showers. Even into Monday next week, light rain, 22 degrees. Tuesday, sun and cloud, and 23. Folks, finally, your 7-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing, sun and cloud, and 60% chance of showers, slightly above normal for this time of year. On Thursday, you'll still see that rain. Friday, well, the clouds will clear. You'll see increased temperatures. Then the temperature starts to slide Saturday and Sunday, but we're back to the rain. Monday looks like a soggy day. Tuesday, not all that bad. A mix of sun and cloud coming in at 24 when it should be 25 degrees this time of year. Amanda Hicks, it's back over to you.
Thanks for that, Tony. Today marks the first day of flights returning residents to their homes in Kashechewan. Back in January, 1,800 people were flown to 4 different host communities following a state of emergency with the company's water supply. The community's water supply, rather. It took that amount of time to repair the water treatment plant and ensure the water was safe to consume. Leadership confirms several flights today have already returned some residents back home, and the rest will be flown back throughout this week. Studies show about a quarter of adults suffer from delirium at some point during a hospital admission. But as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, artificial intelligence could soon play a key role in preventing that.
Artificial intelligence can
Dr. Amol Verma's interest in delirium sprang from his grandmother's experiences during leg surgery.
And that was really striking for us because she was someone who was so mentally sharp and always very bright. And, you know, she was suddenly disoriented. She was talking about a wedding that wasn't happening.
Dr. Fahad Razak says delirium is extremely common, affecting 20 to 30% of all Canadians hospitalized for any range of conditions.
People are extremely confused. They may be very somnolent, so barely responsive. Other patients can be very agitated. They can not recognize family members or friends. They can have trouble eating or drinking. It is so serious that once you develop delirium, the chance of dying in hospital during that admission doubles.
And even if you recover, your chances of your brain sustaining permanent damage, requiring you to move into long-term care, for example, more than doubles. That's what prompted Unity Health to look at ways to identify high-risk candidates for delirium.
You can do it with very high precision, but it's very labor-intensive. So, for example, there's been a method that's developed that takes about 30 minutes to 2 hours per medical chart.
Not very practical, but an AI program developed by Unity Health using just 10 key factors is proving helpful. Harry Ennis's partner Bruce went through heart surgery last year.
I asked him sort of key dates, like when's your birthday, when's my birthday, and he didn't know them.
Ennis says the key is early identification of vulnerable patients.
You can reduce the chance of delirium occurring by as much as 40%.
You need to know about it before it happens, like before the surgery, so that you can monitor if it's happening. You can put in strategies to minimize it and keep the patient safe.
Things like being able to eat well, being able to stay hydrated, being able to get up and move and be physically active.
In Canada especially, we have a problem with recognizing it because many patients who are admitted to hospital don't speak English, and the fact that they are confused sometimes is not easily apparent to a healthcare worker.
The delirium risk calculator is currently being tested in several Ontario hospitals, and it will expand to 13 hospitals in October.
Delirium is the most important cause of hospital-acquired harm for Canadians, full stop.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A popular tourist spot in North Bay is expanding its hours to accommodate even more visitors. The Dion Quince Heritage Board has announced it's expanding its hours from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in place of the original Friday-Saturday schedule. Admission is still free. It's also raising funds to bring in more student staff. The board chair tells CTV News there's something about the Quince and their story that still speaks to visitors.
We see a different, unique kind of visitors coming through. The Americans are still coming. And certainly, we're a unique destination. They're coming up to see a Quince museum that they've read all about, or their parents, or especially the mom, might have doll collections or things like that. So everybody has this kind of fascination with the past and their parents and all that.
The board will also be holding a fundraiser dinner on Saturday, August 8th at the Davidi Club. Tickets are $45 and all proceeds will support the museum and its heritage initiatives. It's as simple as taking a picture, but it could make a major difference for wheat farmers across Canada and the world. An app developed by researchers at the University of Guelph uses AI to detect one of the most common and harmful diseases impacting wheat crops. CTV's Jeff Pickle reports.
Just above knee height here. So what you'd want to do is open the app up on your phone, take the picture.
From the field to the lab, researchers at the University of Guelph are working to improve yields.
So you can see here, for every plot, we have to draw a box around each wheat head in the image.
What started as a research project has turned into an app that can help farmers detect Fusarium head blight, one of the most destructive diseases affecting wheat production.
We focus a lot on breeding for resistance to the disease. And one of the ways we have to do that is evaluating plots out in the field and testing if the lines are resistant to the pathogen or not.
The concept is simple, but the technology is not. Take a picture of a wheat field and let AI do the rest.
So we're trying to develop a way that's a lot more accurate at actually determining the degree of infection within each plot.
A helpful and free tool for farmers.
Farmers can also use this to help gauge what they're having in how much infection is out in their field, and it allows them a little bit of leeway so that they can employ some different practices to minimize the impact of the disease.
Also helpful for researchers looking to create more resilient strains of wheat.
We're losing farmland at a relatively rapid rate, so we need to be able to actually increase the production that we have on the farmland that we do already grow on.
McConaughey says so far 250 producers have downloaded the app, and all information used in the app is retained by the farmers and not used in their research.
So this wheat is a little bit too mature. For the app to work, it needs to be green.
McConaughey says they are updating the app to make it better for next year, and it will remain free to use.
We benefited a lot in our research from open source models, and we've taken advantage of this a lot in order to actually employ all of this. So we just wanted to continue that trend and give back so people can build on this and use it to actually benefit themselves.
Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Guelph.
Trout Creek Community Centre appears to have been given another year. The municipality of Powassan has approved an engineer's occupancy plan, giving the arena the green light for the coming year. In a social media post, the community said the approval includes continued structural monitoring, maintenance of the existing bracing, and snow management measures throughout the season.
It was a great announcement. We wanted to make this announcement because there was a lot of what we thought was misinformation in the community where lots of people didn't think that the community center, the arena, was going to be open this year.
The arena has faced several structural evaluations due to its wooden support columns. Elliott Lake is making it easier for residents of all abilities to hit the beach. The city is showing off its floating water wheelchairs at Spruce and Pine beaches. The equipment is located near the mobility mats and is free to use during lifeguard hours, though pre-booking is required. For the past week, we've been talking about Her Northern Voice, and tonight the 6-day music festival officially kicked off in Sudbury. For the first time in its 5-year history, 3 headliners will take the stage starting Friday. Looking ahead to Saturday night, Indigenous singer-songwriter Susan Aglukark will take the stage. I spoke with her about what it means to be part of a festival dedicated to amplifying female voices.
It's an absolute privilege. It's been about 35 years since this career started. And certainly 35 years ago, there weren't a lot of platforms where Indigenous women voices could be heard. And so having access to these kinds of platforms and spaces where you know you're safe to tell your truths, because a lot of our songs are truth-telling and lived experiences and stories. And having these platforms to share all of that is an absolute privilege, especially in today's global climate.
My next one-on-one interview is with Chantal Kreviasik, which will be airing on Thursday. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. An impressive sight in the skies over Elliott Lake today. Details coming up. A teenager from Powassan did something out on the golf course so rare, most pro golfers have never done it. He hit a pair of hole-in-ones, but as CTV's Eric Tashner tells us, how the teen scored them is what makes this story nearly impossible.
17-year-old Aiden Bahari doesn't consider himself to be much of a golfer. He only started 3 years ago, but last Wednesday was not par for the course when he pulled off the near impossible.
Couldn't believe it. It doesn't really feel real still.
While out with a few of his friends on Highview Golf Course, his remarkable round started on the 17th hole, which from the white tees is a short 98-yard par 3. Bahari teed off.
So we saw it drop, but we all thought it went long. And then we walked up, none of my buddies saw the ball. So we checked the cup, obviously, out of instinct, and it was in there.
Minutes later, after the excitement and trying to calm himself down, on the following hole, a 293-yard par 4, he grabbed his brand new driver and using the same ball, swung as hard as he could.
We saw it hit the green and we were like, whatever. So we just walked up, tried to get up there as quick as possible. There was a bunch of people waiting at the clubhouse for us. So they all saw it draw. All they saw me take it out of the hole. Nobody saw it drop. I picked up the ball and nobody believed me at first. Like I started freaking out.
We were at loss for words, as I am still now, and we're in absolute shock.
Highview Golf Course says in the club's 40-year history, they've never had one person hit 2 holes in one consecutively, let alone on the same day. The course plans to etch Bahari's name on the clubhouse plaque.
He's been giving people tips over the last couple of days for sure.
The Professional Golf Association estimates hitting 2 standard holes in one in the same round occurs roughly once every 67 million rounds. But the odds of hitting 2 consecutive holes in one on a par 3 and par 4 are 1 in 75 billion.
It's kind of still sitting in the back of my head, like, how did that even happen?
Bahari hopes one day to replicate this feat, but until then, he'll just simply play through.
I've been questioning it. If I kept playing golf, what would happen? But we're going to stick to hockey for now. Maybe golf will be an afterthought.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, Powassan.
An impressive sight in the skies over Elliott Lake today. This video, courtesy of the city, shows a Royal Canadian Air Force Hercules circling low for training exercises, including a successful parachute jump before touching down to refuel. Officials say the region's quiet airspace makes it an ideal hub for those repeated low-flying passes. Finally for us tonight, Sault Ste. Marie police had an unusual suspect outside the station recently. A black bear climbed up a utility pole in front of the building. With nowhere else to go, the bear eventually surrendered and made its own way back down. Officers watched from a safe distance, then gave it a police escort off the property and back toward the woods. While black bear sightings aren't uncommon here, police are reminding people to give them plenty of space and to never feed them. And with that, that takes us to the end of our newscast tonight. Thanks for spending a bit of your Tuesday night with us. Ian will be covering the 5 and 6 shows all week, and of course, I'll be back here tomorrow night. Have a good night.